Oh, whew, it's rainy. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a little shopping, a little bit of shopping. So we need to get oil for the truck. And funny enough, earlier today, I think sometime this morning, there was, I think it was Frank the Vet, left a comment and said, hey, you know there's a difference between diesel and regular gasoline motor oil. Of course. So we, what I was thinking of using was actually, it's a Shell Rotella T6, I think, and Walmart should have it. So we're going to use 10W30. I thought I mentioned that before, but no, yes, there's a difference, and I think there's a much higher zinc content for diesel motors. All right, grab a card here. So we need about 3 gallons or 12 quarts of oil. Somewhere in this Walmart, we should have that for about 24 bucks a gallon. Yep. And my mom has she buys this stuff from Costco. Costco actually does have diesel, like heavy duty diesel oil, but it's like, I think it's just 30 weight or something. It's not like 10 to 30. And if you're in colder weather, you can go a little bit, I think like 0 to 40 or something like that, or 5 W40 if you're in colder weather. We're not. So yeah, we'll find it here somewhere. And we have one more stop because I picked up a little kit to do like the filters and all that off of Amazon. And it turns out the filter seems a little light. So we're gonna go actually compare the weight to the Mopar one. And the Mopar one, I actually found it nearby. And so when I was looking at the Mopar one on Amazon, it was like ridiculously expensive. But I think I was looking at a pack or something like that. And I'm like, nope. So we'll see. Yeah, somewhere in here. Considering we can pick it up from like AutoZone for next to like 15, 16 bucks, somewhere in there. Okay, so yep. T6, Shell Rotella T6 10W30. And it is $23.46. There's another brand, I think it was Valvoline, I was looking at. Let me see what they cost. Oh, they didn't have it. Okay, well, here we are. Okay. Also have a wrench, and I think my mom has it, but we got like one of these little deals. And she's got the big guy. It's a 16 quarts. I think she has the 16 quart one. She's hanging on to it because she has more space than us. So we're going to change her oil as well. That'll just be a little bit easier. Yeah, while just get it all done at once, right? Get messy. I was thinking about one of these, but I don't think we have a need for the size of that guy. Oh, that's nuts. It's funny. I had never fully understood because I'm not like, never had a garage or anything like that. But like, I'm like, man, it's really expensive. How do people afford all these tools and all this really nice equipment for doing their own maintenance and such? And you obviously have to have the know-how, but how are you going to learn unless you do it, right? And now I'm kind of realizing, I'm like, oh, as you work on a project, you get a tool, and then you work on another project, and you're going to need 2 different tools for that, right? So you start accumulating. It's just kind of funny how that works. Okay, let me think. Here for a few things, actually. I think I also need pepper. Let's see. We need oil filter, pepper. I'm looking for eggs, and I actually was passing these guys, and I just thought this was interesting. So these are fruit snacks, and you can see all the fruit on the box, right? The image of fruits, and they're even in fruit shapes. And they go, fruit is our #1 ingredient. It's actually fruit puree, which, and then you got corn syrup, which is sugar, which is sugar, modified cornstarch, which is sugar, modified tapioca sugar. All this crap, man. These are nothing remotely close to sugar, or man, they're delicious. They really are. They are tasty if you like them. But these things, I mean, they literally sugar, corn syrup, apple juice from concentrate, food. I mean, just pure sugar. And unfortunately, a lot of folks give these to their kids, and some of them will even have like, let's see, it's naturally and artificially. They'll have like dyes and things like that are just horrible for you. I think I used to eat a lot worse, and now I understand why. Part of it is just you don't know unless you know, right? It's wild. It's just not real food. It's crazy. What fun eggs. You know, and this is a funny thing. So I was making eggs this morning. Where are they at? And I noticed they tasted like crap. Right here. For whatever reason, these ones were really good. Let's see, these ones are cage-free, but that doesn't mean they can like run it on a lot of space, maybe. But I think it was these ones. They tasted really, really good. And these are actually cheaper, I think, than the ones at $4.54 or $5.68. They're cheaper than the ones at Safeway, but they tasted way better. So we picked up some Safeway ones last 2 days ago, something like that. I tried them out this morning. They taste like crap. It's weird. Like the yolk is fine, but the white part just doesn't. It just doesn't taste good. It's weird. It's like hard to explain, but it's like they just taste sad. I don't know. You guys ever get that? I realize we're still going, finding the equilibrium again with eggs or whatever, but prices are coming down, which is awesome. But taste, man, I don't know. But the Walmart ones, I was surprised. They're very good. AutoZone, quick stop in. It's only a couple bucks more, like $2-3 more than Amazon, so why not? Find it here somewhere. So many filters, so little time. But it's an actual Mopar filter. It might be in the back. Feels like it's a little expensive for $11 for a frame. I don't know. Oh, dang. You know what? Actually, they have a couple. A little less than Walmart there. Okay. That's 2.5 gallons for. All right. Well, got it. So this is the actual Mopar genuine part and accessory. $16.49 plus tax. They've been using this since the 5.9 liter Cummins, which is awesome. So yeah, this is 0583285 Adam -001. So if you need that, I need to write down somewhere all the parts that we need. I think I have it for the cat engine as well, because some of these things are like, what oil do you use, and what parts do you need for different things, and there's so many variables, and you cannot trust their computers, because yeah, initially they were saying, well, we don't have this in stock, which they did, and their computer was like, yeah, it's not compatible with the 24 RAM, but it is. And so I called a local RAM dealerships, got the actual Mopar part, off we go. And then it's a little bit heavier than the other one, just in the hand. So I kind of want to do a little compare and contrast real quick, just to see. I don't really want to risk having dirty oil if we don't have to. So, all right, let's head on back. Lenny, man, those underbays get really, really wet. And I realize it doesn't have any sort of lip to keep water out. That'd probably prevent all of this. But he'll be overhauled. He will. But I grabbed the 5-gallon bucket just in case we need this to capture any liquid, and our roller. And let me see. I grabbed some other stuff, but here. Also in here, oh man, old filter strap here. Got another one somewhere in here. And for the fuel filter, we will need, because the fuel filter is like way in here, like it's down in there, I will need an adjustable piece, like it's movable for the end of the bits. Need to get an extension or two, and Harbor Freight is probably the best place for that. So off we go. Quick stop in to Harbor Freight, grab a few things. Definitely one of my favorite stores, tell you. Okay, here's a 4-piece set for a 3/8 inch drive, which I think I'm going to use a half. I'm looking for one that also has a swivel though, but I'm not seeing any swivels here. There's got to be one around here somewhere. Ooh, probably individual pieces actually. Let me see these. Let's see. I've been checking in here actually, and based on the tools that I've got a 1/4, 3/8, and a 1/2 socket set. And unfortunately, I need a 28 millimeter, I believe it is. 28 millimeter, and these only go up to 15/16. So I think the equivalent would be like 1 1/8 inch socket or something like that. So I need to buy that. Not a big deal. But the fuel, I also need an extension, I should say. So I have a 3/8 inch socket set that has a swivel mount because I've got to get way in here. And I'm standing on the tow hooks here. That's the fuel filter way down in there, right? So you can't just go straight up with it. So I need the swivel, not a big deal, and then a 28, and then I need probably a foot long plus the extension I already have in there. I think that should do it. So glad I have all the tools with me here. My 1/2 inch, which I'd be more comfortable using, I guess it's not the end of the world. The 1/2 inch though does not have a swivel set, so I may just have to buy the one 12 inch extension, and if I can find a 3/8 28 millimeter socket. I'm learning. Okay, we're in business. $8 for this, not bad. Couple extensions will make it work either way, all for a 3/8 inch drive. And this is also a 3/8 inch drive set, 7 pieces, $50. It's a little bit of a price difference here, but the where are we at? 28 millimeter will work. This does pop on there. I mean, we'll always need it, so I mean, $50 though for a Harbor Freight price. I don't know. It's I guess it's a Icon brand now. Yeah, so it seems like it's. I mean, you can never tell unless you tried it out, and does it wear down quickly, but it has good weight to it, so hopefully it's good enough. It doesn't corrode quickly, and off we go. I've kept my Craftsman toolkit for a long time, but we're in business, and we have everything we need now, except for the Fumoto valve. Yeah, I need to order one, but it wouldn't be here for another week, so I should have planned this out better. It is what it is, but we'll get that around next time. Quick stop into West Marine here. I need to grab a little Scudsy cleaner. There's a chemical that I've used in the past on fiberglass that works pretty well, and it'll get rid of this like mold, this like black algae that grows off the trees really quickly. Also like their handles. These are fun. All right, there were a couple of options in there. Ended up getting a couple of opinions from some really nice folks. The one I chose to go with is called Mildew Stain Remover by West Marine, and so it's this stuff. And the reason I've used this stuff in the past on our Scamp trailer, and I don't know what it is about the gel coat. I think it's just a gel coat. I don't think it's necessarily fiberglass, but it's weird because it really attracts like mildew and scudsiness, more than like even our Rust-Oleum paint job does, or far more than the truck does. So we'll try this. There's also something called FSR fiberglass stain remover. There's like a gel and there's a spray-on deal. We'll see. But this is supposed to be safe for vinyl, fiberglass, plastic, rubber, and more. So, and I've used it. I'm like 99% sure this is what I've used before. It went up. It used to be $9.99. Now it's, like with anything, it was $15.99, I think it was. And whereas the other stuff was $18 to $25. There's also 303 aerospace protectant. So might grab some of that. Maybe pick that up online because that was $42 here. So I'm like, so yeah, we'll see about that in the future. But right now we are balling on a budget, and this is something we have to get before we leave for the month. So that's all right. Let's go back. So let's head back. I need to pick up Emma. Let's go. Found Emma. All right, we have a package to pick up from the post office. It's our rack. Might as well go pick that up real quick. We have room in the bed of the truck, and yeah, we'll try that out. The rack may or may not work. If it doesn't, we can. I might have already mentioned that. Hopefully, I already mentioned. Did I ever mention the why we don't have a truck topper? The little camper shell. Oh no, I hate that. I already mentioned that. We mentioned that you hate that, but we've thought about them. But the fact is, we're well under $1,000 with this whole setup that we're trying. Whereas those would be somewhere in the realm of, I think they start at the low end, $1,500, and they'll go up to like $5,000. So it's more of a budget thing. Like it's like, why spend more than we, again, we're saving money for a project, so it's one of those things. But we can always, if this doesn't work out, we can hold on to those solar panels and get one of those toppers at some point. If we do a topper though, especially if it's flush, which would be pretty nice, what we'll end up doing is probably using VHB and a Turnabond for the roof instead of the bars. I don't know, we'll see. But we have a lot of hardware, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, we can always back out of some of that. We just can't return the Unistrip. Well, we can turn 2. We didn't modify those, but yeah. So I don't know. I like the idea. The other thing is, I know a lot of folks want like dry storage in the back of their bed. We've never had an issue with that. Like, we just have never had it's not really been something we cared about. Usually the crap we put in there, it helps a little bit to have it, like kayaks or water tanks or bikes, that stuff. I mean, you just toss it in there and it'll be all right. It's outdoor stuff. I don't know. The other thing is there's a little bit of waviness or shakiness on it. All over the overhang here. So what we may do for that, because there's no good way without welding, and welding could be an option. We can get that done just to throw some bracing in there. We talked about that, but there's really not a good way to do it the way that we would really like to. What we may do if we don't have it welded is actually see if we can pick up like threaded rod or something like that, and like little pucks, you know, some sort of base for those to thread into, so that we can basically stick that to the roof. It doesn't affect the roof whatsoever, right? But it doesn't want to, it's not going to want to lift or drop. You know, and then you just use a couple nuts and washers, and then you can thread that into everything. You know, super quick and easy, real cheap, hopefully. But we'll see how we do that. You have any ideas?
I think you just shared the idea.
Yep. Okay. A little hefty. Okay. Organize here a little bit. Oh, should not have left these out. Oh no. Oh well. They'll dry. Tomorrow's supposed to be a good warm day, hopefully. So get this put together as well. Oil changes don't take that long. Ugh, that's soggy. Ugh. All right, now these are the products that we went ahead and picked up. So I actually got this set on Vine, and so it's an air intake filter, a cabin air filter, rear fuel filter and a front fuel filter. This is the one that we required that 28 millimeter on, and then this is an oil filter, and that's the exact part. So if it's a 05083285 Adam, that is the part. So interestingly, so with the frame filters, you can actually kind of feel a weight difference. And I'm going to check this out. There was something about this, it didn't feel like this was heavy enough. It's hard to explain, but like I figured it would be heavier. Oddly, hold on. Emma, try this. Hold that. Which one's heavier?
This one.
That's is it a lot heavier, a little tiny bit heavier, or are they about the same?
Tiny bit heavier. Tiny
bit heavier. Yeah, you know, oddly, maybe it's just, oh, it is, yeah, it's a slight bit heavier. I notice it seems heavier. Okay. Yeah, it's a little more hollow sounding there. Whereas this is, yeah, okay. That's interesting, right? So this is actually why I went ahead and picked up the original Mopar. It's an actual Mopar part, because that is one that I do not want to mess with. The air filters I don't really care about. Getting bad fuel is not a good thing, but these all seem to be about the same no matter where you get them. But the oil filters are one. You know, based on the weight of this, I actually wouldn't, you know, in a pinch I'd use it, I think. But like if we were out in the middle of nowhere, so I think we're gonna keep it on hand. But yeah, we're gonna use the Mopar ones whenever we can. There's one of the, this is a cabin air filter. That's an easy thing. And this was I think all of this was like $60, and we got it on Amazon Vine. So we're going to review it. I'm not actually going to run this right now, so it won't be a very super fair review, but you can actually update them after the fact. We'll use all the other components. And this is, yeah, I mean, look at that guy. So, I mean, it's hard to tell. We'll see them side by side. But it is, to me, the weight and the way that it feels, and you got, you know, your metal mesh there. No, this seems just as well. I doubt we'll even need to replace the cabin filter or the engine air filter, but yeah, these should be fine. So we might just save these. But this is just a video just picking all of our stuff out and kind of why I went back to the Mopar one. Just for the first oil change. And I've gone back and forth on this. I think I will show you guys kind of what it looks like, because some of you guys actually have good tips. Every now and then there's always something to learn. But I do think that we have everything we need. We've got that fuel filter 28mm socket. That's such a weird one. But we have everything we need. My mom has a 10-quart oil pan, so I don't think it'll be the end of the world. We'll figure it out. We have a bucket, worst case. We'll use that bucket to put underneath the fuel filters. But she's actually gonna come up here and meet us, and we're gonna do that. Oh, it won't take long. My mom's car takes longer to put on the up on the ramps than than it does to actually do the oil change. So unfortunately, that also elevates the car. Not that big of a deal, but then, you know, maybe you're missing a little bit of oil, but it's generally clean. Anyways, oh, side note, we were talking about crappy eggs earlier, but things that have worked, are these the beef patties we've had? They're called Heritage Farm. Yeah, Costco. Really delicious. Beef patties, those are really good. And then we've been having these sausage patties. We're Beg Tyson, so, you know, so everybody has their opinion on that. Those are really...
Is Tyson controversial?
I don't know if it's controversial or not. Maybe. Ignore the bed. We're about to do laundry. So, and we just had some of these grilled chicken patties. These are actually pretty good. There's not too much. Yeah, a little bit of chicken raised without antibiotics, onions, 2% or less of sugar, salt, spices, garlic. So that is, you know, I know a lot of folks are like, oh, wow, that's frosty back there, look at that. A lot of folks are like, oh, are you gonna get a spare freezer? Realistically, we have a good amount of food in here. We have some extra chicken breasts and things, some extra steaks, or steak bits. We really don't need it, do we? So far, I don't think so. Like, if we got a really good deal on meat, you know, maybe. But yeah, otherwise we're just sort of wasting, I don't know, we're just sort of wasting money at that point. We have other things to spend dollars on. So anyways, we will leave all of the links below to Amazon. So if you use the links, or even if you click it and then shop for something else, it helps the channel. It doesn't raise your price any. So if you don't mind, use our links below. And we actually did make a second membership tier. Don't feel pressured by any means to be a member or anything like that. We made a second membership tier. So
it's called Sam and Colt Best Friends.
Oh man, that would have been a good title. I should change that. It was just Mobile Homies too, but that's good too. Sam and Colt's Best Friends. Buy us dog food. Buy us a treat. Oh yeah, yeah. You guys want to say hi? Colt. Oh, you silly boy. He's a good boy. He is a good boy. Where's his best girl?
Level 1 is now called Emma's Coffee.
Coffee Club.
Emma's Coffee Fund, and level 2 is called Sam and Colt's Best Friends.
That should be it. Yeah. Up. Yeah. Where's his best girl? She loves to give hugs. She actually does give really good hugs, though, doesn't she? Doesn't she? And her side, for those wondering,
See that?
no, it's looking a lot better. Colty, get out of here. It is looking a lot better. Not perfect still, but you know, it's better than it was. It's not infected or anything. So, Colty's a good boy. Colty's a good boy. Oh boy. All right, we have other things to do, so I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh boy.